The Asia-Pacific nations are vulnerable to a range of risks, right from earthquakes to floods to change in temperatures, droughts, damage due to dew, damage due to melting of glaciers. So there are a range of risks which Asian countries are exposed to. In terms of managing those risks, a range of options are also being looked into, not only in terms of designing better products, but also in terms of better risk transfer mechanisms to transfer risk and create more fiscal space for governments, and also in terms of providing better protection mechanisms at the household level and also at the small business level. There are areas at the household level where we are looking at microinsurance type of mechanisms and products and commensurate regulations. At the intermediate level, we are looking at portfolios and businesses where we can support products like portfolio insurance so that SMEs and small agro businesses are protected from the losses they face consequent to a disaster. In terms of the macro level, we are looking at contingent financing mechanisms to help governments protect themselves from the after effects of severe consequences of a disaster. Insurance is a tool where they reward the customer by charging a lower premium if they are able to reduce the risk. Customers reduce the risk by improving building codes. They reduce the risk by bringing in better design. They reduce risk by bringing better technology. With respect to climate change adaptation, there are risks which lead to slow onset disasters. Therefore, insurance like agriculture insurance especially help in protecting farmers' income against loss of yield. They also protect farmers for loss of crops due to pestilence. They also help farmers at the time of reduced production due to climate issues like low temperature, dew, drought, and other vagaries of nature. For designing a disaster risk insurance framework, we need a good set of regulations in terms of having capital structure in place from a prudential perspective. Insurance companies should remain solvent at the time of a disaster so that they are able to pay claims to the insured. We also need to ensure that there are mechanisms in place to control the intermediaries or the agents and brokers and other technology channels who are selling insurance. They also sometimes indulge in mis-selling, and therefore insurance regulations should be in place to control market misconduct. The third area is on corporate governance. Ultimately, risk management is a corporate governance function, and therefore insurance companies should have sound corporate governance practices in place to take care of these elements. All these are captured in the International Association of Insurance Supervisors Insurance Code principles. Therefore, insurance regulators are encouraged to implement international standards so that such regulations are put in place. If you have a sound and robust regulatory environment in place, it will attract international insurers and reinsurers to the market. It will attract foreign direct investment to the market, and therefore it will help in development of the local insurance and reinsurance portfolios in the countries. Insurance markets in the Asia and Pacific are very, very nascent. There is hardly any insurance culture in these markets. In terms of developing the insurance markets, the ADB is looking at the regulatory environment. They are trying to strengthen the regulatory capacity by organizing a number of training programs and also supporting regulators in terms of crafting insurance regulations and also to have insurance regulatory supervisory systems in place to control the risks. In terms of product development, the ADB is also supporting pilots in different emerging market jurisdictions. They range from crop insurance to microinsurance and other activities. To start such product-related work, we need to scope the sector. We also need to assess the risks and then embark on a pilot. Lessons from the pilots we have recently done in Bangladesh, in Mongolia, and also in Kazakhstan have proved to be very, very encouraging, and that will definitely help in spurring new projects and also in spurring new types of activities around insurance in those countries.